Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. I am Gilly Rosari. That is my main man, Larry Loper. We are coming to you from Northern Delaware on this January 13th, 2026. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. So we've got football. Let's get right into it. Before we get into the games, another coach bites the dust. That Mike Tomlin has stepped away, stepped down, however you want to word it, but he decided to leave, I guess. So I don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers now, but there are nine, that's right, nine head coaching vacancies and even more coordinator vacancies. So what I want to do with my partner Larry is I want to rank what I feel and what he feels are the top nine head coaching vacancies from best to worst. What do you think, Larry?
Oh man, I'm 100% with it, man. I think it's some great jobs out there, some jobs that I wouldn't want to step into. So my evaluation is going to be built on coming in, winning now, but also the future and far as ownership and things of that nature. That's going to play a lot of my decision on where I rank these
Mm,
teams.
Well, with me, a big thing is the quarterback position
Mhm.
stabilized, at least for a year. Okay, so I'm going to go in that order, and if it's not, then there's the drop.
Right.
So first for me, my number one is the Atlanta Falcons. I got the Falcons number one head coaching. You got two quarterbacks there. I think Cousins will probably win out for at least a year, and Penix will be the number two. But you never know. But I think it's going to be a quarterback competition in the offseason. So give me the Falcons with the number one job. Who do you have as the number one?
For me, man, I'm actually going to take Baltimore. I got Baltimore right now. If the right coach coming right now with this team, with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, while you can maximize it right now. They still got a defense that was supposed to be a good defense. So I think with a new voice, a new leadership in there, if the right leader could come in there, they could win now. They can win now. So that's why I would put them above Atlanta for me because of the quarterback position, as you stated, being more stable with Lamar there compared to Penix or Kirk Cousins. So I like the situation in Baltimore for a new coach to come in and the culture and the city. It's a great city, kind of just the history. It's great to come in them shoes with that team right now.
Okay, and they have a very good general manager
They
and a
do.
very good owner. So it starts from the top and it trickles down as far as
Good.
organizations go. Okay, my second one, I'm being consistent. My second team I have as the second best job is the New York Football Giants.
Okay.
It looks like they've got a quarterback. Um, they're going to get a few weapons back on offense. Plus, they've got a high draft pick. So I'm going to go with the Giants as the second best job. And plus you get the New York media, the New Jersey media, and all that. So Giants number two for me.
All right. For my second, I'm actually going to go with your number one, which is the Atlanta Falcons. I like the pieces down there. The defense is ready to go. They did an upgrade in defense. Like you said, the only question mark I have is, are you going to go with Penix or Kirk Cousins? Like you're saying, I think they're Kirk Cousins and Penix have a fair shot of going for the position because now it's not me trying to draft the quarterback and the pressure me drafting this quarterback and pitting them out there when you might not be ready or have not earned the right to play. I think Kirk Cousins has definitely earned the right to be in the competition. So I think that they have a fair competition going in. Whoever stands out, that's who you're gonna run with, and hopefully they don't put no short leash on whoever wins this competition. So I got Atlanta, and then also for the most part, blank will let you kind of build your system for the most part,
Mhm.
unless you
Yeah.
like Morris or the other guy that was before him. Was it Arthur? Arthur, what's his name? The offense coordinator for Pittsburgh Steelers used to be Atlanta's head.
Yeah.
Smith,
Now he's with Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith, right? Uh, unless you're having losing seasons and you just you can't win, then you got to move on. But if you could come in and you got the team, you really got the team. You got BJ Robinson, you got receivers, you got the tight end that can play, and the defense. I think yeah, second on my list for sure. And it's a weak division. We ain't talking about division. It's a weak division. I don't care what you tell me.
Very weak division. And they just brought in Matt Ryan to be the
Oh yeah,
president.
and I think that was a plus. I'm glad you mentioned highlighted that. That's a plus. Bring a football guy in who one loves Atlanta. He loves that organization. He has a great relationship with the owner, and I know he's going to be thinking about the best fit for Atlanta, understanding the culture of Atlanta. So he played the majority of his career in Atlanta. So
Hmm.
great pickup, smart for them to go ahead and bring Matt Ryan back in.
Okay. My number three was your number one, the Baltimore Ravens. And the reason they are as low as three what is Lamar Jackson has to kind of reconstruct his contract
Mhm.
because it's going to be so much money next year. They want to push some money down the road. So they've got to convince him, like we talked about last week, to kind of restructure his contract so he gets paid heavier down the line so it doesn't, it's not such a big cap hit this year. So he has to agree to that. And he's also a quarterback that seems to get dinged up almost every year because he's not a pure pocket passer. We know that. And for as great as Derrick Henry is, and he's great, he is in his 30s. And when running backs start to fall off, they really fall off. So you can't just assume next year he's going to be another, 1,300-yard back. That might not be the case.
That's a reality.
So and those are their two best players. And we're assuming their defense is going to get better, but it went from not so great 2 years ago to even worse this year. So, and
Great.
now you're gonna have a new head coach. Who knows if it's an offensive guy? Is he going to prioritize defense like like we think he should? I don't know. So that's my number three, Baltimore Ravens. What's your number three?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all, man. Great points too. My number three is going to be New York. It's going to be New York, and for the reasons that you highlighted, you have a young quarterback, Dart, and hopefully they bring the right guy in that's going to be able to change his game, so to speak. Bring some pieces around him. It's going to go down to the GM and who they draft. You get Malik Neighbors back, you get Scatterboo back, you got some pieces, man. And I think that why Jackson Dart had to do so much is because he has so less. You know, I mean, are you going to invest in your line? You have your franchise quarterback. Normally, when you got the franchise quarterback, you want to invest in O line. You want to keep him upright because if you get a decent O line in front of him, then he's not so hesitant or so quick to go and take off when the hole open up. Let the play develop. Let the playmakers make some plays. He can throw the ball. He did it in Ole Miss. So he does have an arm, okay? But I think once again, when you have the lack of a O line and you don't have your playmakers around you, man, what are you expecting your quarterback to do? But the defense could bring pressure, so that's a building block. The market, if you are able to come in and do your thing in that market, it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity, and it's a competitive division. It's a great division, the East. Because you got the Philly, Washington, Cowboys, so it's going to be competitive. Yes, sir. That's my third.
So we have the same three,
Just
our top three. We just have them in a different order.
sir.
Now here's where it starts to get a little tricky. A little tricky.
Yeah, man.
My number four, believe it or not, is the Tennessee Titans.
Hmm.
And the
Okay.
reason is it looks like they got a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I told you that I prioritize that.
Hmm.
It's the last team that I think looks like they got their quarterback for sure, for at least the relatively near future. At least, next year and probably the year after that. I'm gonna say that. Um, and I think it's a good job. I think it's a good job, down there in Nashville. Um, that's a big time city that doesn't get hounded by media.
Oh,
So they can kind of, leave you alone and, they pretend to be a small market when they're not a small market. I think the Titans, I think that's a nice job. Now, I don't love management and ownership. They got rid of Rabel and they didn't even give the next guy,
Oh,
a year and a half,
no, he didn't.
not even.
Not
So
even.
I don't like that. So I'm going to ask for big money just to make sure that they are going to be hesitant to fire me and pay me for sitting on a couch. But I think the Titans are the fourth best team, which means to me that there is a big gap from the top three to the last six.
Total agreement.
There's a big gap because I don't love the next six jobs.
Total
And
agreement, brother. Total agreement. And I'm in agreement totally with your four pick. I think Tennessee is, of all the last picks we're talking about, is the pick that I will go with because of the stability at quarterback. You bring the right guy in, and I'm thinking you're probably gonna go offensive minded because you got Don Ward. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do with Jonathan Simmons. I don't know his situation. He's gonna hit the market. I don't know
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey Simmons.
for Jeffrey Simmons.
Oh God.
Uh, he is man. Because if you're gonna go total rebuild, you might want to dump off that to get a lot of value off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see what they're gonna do in the offseason when it comes to Jeffrey Simmons and his situation. But you got to build around Cam Ward. There's so many pieces that they had to build though. So if a coach could come in there, and I got a coach who's sticking out to me that I think will be perfect if he wants that job.
Let's
And
hear it. Let's
I
hear
think
it.
I think Stefanski, man. I think you pair
Mm,
Stefanski's because he is a good offensive minded coach. You pair him with a solid quarterback, you get a fresh start. Similar kind of situation in Cleveland for as a market. You know, you don't have to hear the chirp too much. Only thing about Cleveland is just a terrible organization, period. Just period. And that goes all the way up to ownership down. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he get a fresh start, bringing his system in, because I don't think he ever was able to bring his system in Cleveland. I just don't think so. I think the owner had way too much hands in the pot. You dig?
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that that'll be a good situation for him if he decides he wants to go down to Tennessee and pick, and if they want to take him on. He was offensive coach of the year, you know that. So
I think Stefanski might be the second most coveted head coaching guy behind Harbaugh. I'm
yeah,
going to assume that Tomlin is going to take a year off.
when you though, Gil, honestly, and speaking of that, because I'm glad, and I'm just going to echo Ryan Clark on Tomlin too. I'm glad he had the opportunity to be able to step down and not get fired. You know what I mean? Because you gave this organization 19 years. You know, 19
It's a
years, man,
long time. It's
a
a long
long time,
time.
man. And I think at this point he just realized like it's going to be a rebuild. You know, I can't get you over the hump anymore. I cannot push you to that standard that we have set in Pittsburgh. And I think that standard is what he stepped away from, knowing that, hey man, we didn't have the tools or the equipment to be able to compete with this team. And I'll talk about that game when we get to that section. But I think he deserved that. I'm glad he did it his way. Take a year off, man. Just it's no rush. Trust me, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be some coaching jobs going to pop up for real,
Mm-hmm.
college wise or in NFL. You know, these coaches don't last long. These owners don't have that
Mm-hmm.
much patience. Okay, so a position will open up eventually.
For
Take
sure.
off, enjoy your family, enjoy semi-retirement for a little bit, get your bearings together, and then go at it with that fresh vigor.
Yeah, unless one of these jobs that's open now, he really has an interest in. I would take a year or two. He's only 53 years old.
Yeah, young guy, man.
He's still young.
Yeah,
He became the head coach of the Steelers. He was in his 30s. People
30s,
forget that.
man.
He was in his 30s. He went from defensive coordinator with the Vikings to getting the head coaching job, and he had early success. The thing is, they have not won a playoff game since 2016.
But then you got to think,
That's 9 years. Yeah,
no,
yeah. They finished with a winning record every year, but is that the standard now with Pittsburgh?
no, no,
Right.
no. I mean, no. You know, and it's been instability at quarterback position. Because when
Mm-hmm.
Roethlisberger, he was on his decline, but once he retired, that's when it really was bad. You got Mason
Mm-hmm.
Rudolph, we can name them. It was no stability there.
Rudolph, Kenny Pickett,
It's just
Justin Fields,
Russell Wilson.
Russell
It was
Wilson.
no stability at that position, man. And then you bring and no knock Aaron Rodgers, but you brought a decline over the hill Aaron Rodgers, and he doesn't have the skill set when he was, you know,
Mm-hmm. Discount double check.
yeah, that guy
Yeah.
when he had the legs and he had the escapability. He's
Mm-hmm.
40 years old, bro. You lose speed. Unless you LeBron James, unless you LeBron, and you they made you in a lab somewhere. You know that guy, because at 40 he still could play with the 18-year-olds. You could play with his son. I'm just go there. Oh
That
man,
guy.
that
But I
guy.
got I got no problem talking about Aaron Rodgers because if he retires, his last pass of his career was a pick six.
It was. It was.
What a great weekend for me. Wow. Bears win, Packers lose,
Aaron Rodgers
Philadelphia
considered a retirement.
loses, Aaron Rodgers with the pick six. That's his career. I love it. What a weekend for
What
me.
a weekend.
And no matter what happens, you can't take this weekend away from me. You can't.
No,
The Bears could get killed by the Rams. You can't take what
can't
happened.
take what
Can't take
happened, yo.
can't take that away. It happened.
It
It
happened.
happened. And boy, were those Packer people salty.
You get to host another divisional game.
Salty. That's right.
Salt,
And it's going to be super cold too. Right
freeze.
now it's predicted to be 17 degrees
Shish.
against a California team that plays with a roof.
Shish.
Just saying.
Hey man,
All right.
all right.
Let's keep going. Here we're in the middle of the pack. My number 5. It's the last team that might have their quarterback, and I'm going to go with the Browns
Okay.
because Shador, I think, is the guy you go into the offseason thinking we're going to have him at least walk through the door as QB1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Shador makes the Browns the 5th most appealing. Now, they're the Browns. I don't know, but right in the middle there, I'm going to say the Browns are the 5th most appealing. Great fan base.
Yeah.
They got 2 quarterbacks that are going to be competing for that number 1 job, unless they bring in like a free agent or something like that. So, Browns, my number 5. What's your number 5?
I'm in total agreement with you, man. And it's for that same reason, just because I believe that they have more of a stability, or at least they know what kind of direction they might be going with next year. There's a lot of mights and I don't know in that conversation, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know about stability, but I think that Shador has earned his right to be able to say, okay, I'm going to be competing for this number 1 spot rather than not get the first string reps. So that right there, and you still got a defense. You still got Myles Garrett, and that defense is going to be ferocious. So it, it's Cleveland though. That's what makes it not appealing because it's Cleveland. Like
Mhm.
they have ran through coaches, quarterbacks, and no stability at that thing. The franchise, once again, is because the owner is terrible. I'm telling you, it's just not a good organization. But they get Stefanski a lot of years, so that part you can hang your hat on. You might get a little tenure if you could start winning
Well,
early.
Stefanski did win Coach of the Year twice.
He did. He did.
Twice
He
for
did.
that organization. And not for nothing. And this isn't a personal shot, but it's Cleveland. You'll go to a bad organization if it's New York, if it's LA, if it's Chicago. The city sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do in Cleveland?
That's my lady. She's from Ohio. It's stuff to
Okay,
do.
well, ask her. Go ahead, go get her right now. Ask
She's
her.
gonna take offense to that, Gil. You know she's gonna take offense to that.
Besides the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the house from A Christmas Story, what are we doing in Cleveland? What are we going to Cleveland for? It's cold. It's snowy.
She's gonna get you, Gil. I'm telling you,
Hey,
she's gonna
listen,
get
no
you.
lies. No
She's gonna get
lies
you, Gil.
here. She gonna get me. Where does she live right now? Is
You
it
know,
is it Cleveland?
No.
Does she live in oh, so as an adult, she moved away from Cleveland
Oh man,
and
don't
is
start
in
here.
Delaware.
She hates
No,
Delaware.
tell me, you tell me when I'm wrong.
She hates Delaware, so she hates it with a passion.
She hates Delaware,
She
but
loves
she's
me.
living in Delaware, not Cleveland.
Yeah, she loves me, but she hates Delaware
Hmm,
with a passion.
interesting.
She's very boring here. And
Because there are phlebotomists in Cleveland, and we can do the show you living in Cleveland. So why is she not pressuring you to go back to
oh,
that great city that she
she
grew
is.
up in,
She is.
Cleveland?
She is.
She's
It-
pressuring you?
yeah. By the end of the year, I'll probably be in Ohio.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think so.
More like.
So let's go to number six. Number six sells itself, and it's the Steelers. Now they don't have a quarterback, but they do have a bunch of draft picks. I'm going to go with the Steelers being the sixth best. They actually could have been as high as four to me, but I'm going to go with the Steelers. Only issue is they don't have a quarterback and they haven't had a quarterback in a while. So you're going to have to take that job knowing that they've had a problem there. So give me the Steelers at number six.
My six is going to be Miami. Miami. Okay. The weather. One, that's the advantage in the summertime. They will crush you down there in that heat. Two, if you bring the right coach in, I don't know if they're going to tour or Ewan, but or Oars, whatever. Um, but if the right coach in, they might go with Tour, but Tour got concussion problems. But they got a Kane. I like the running back of Kane down there. They got
A
peace.
Chan.
Yeah,
You talking
H.
about A Chan?
Yeah, H. I like H. the running back. They got some pieces down there. If you start to build around the defense some more, you still got pieces on defense. So they have some pieces they can work with. So I would take that as my sixth landing spot. And if you bring the right coach in, man, once again, it's Miami. It's Miami.
Miami does sell itself, so you're right there. And the Dolphins are still, even though they haven't won a playoff game since the 99 season, which is
Oh,
unbelievable to say
yeah.
that.
Man,
They
that's crazy.
yeah, it was against Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's first playoff game
Jeez
at
Louise.
Indy,
At Indy.
Miami
Yep, you're
won.
right. At Indy, it sure was.
Miami won. Yep. And then the next week they played at Jacksonville and got their doors blown off. And that
Yeah.
was Marino's last game. I think he threw like six
Oh, he
interceptions.
did. He got killed. It was bad. It was bad.
That was terrible.
It
So
was yeah.
my problem with the Dolphins is the Tua thing. They got to get rid of him. So until he's there, it's a distraction. And I don't know that Ewers is really should be the guy to go in as the number one. So
I don't think
I think they need to get a quarterback for the very least for quarterback competition. But then you got to worry about Tua, where you're going to send him, the contract,
yeah.
compensation. But so I've got the Dolphins as my number seven. They
Okay.
were next for the reasons that you said. Miami sells itself, and you got to bring back the pride. Those Doll fans
All
want to bring
fans.
back the pride of Miami. So, the Hurricanes are helping that area, but now you need the Dolphins to do their part. So that's my number seven. Who's your number seven?
We just flip flopped. I got Pittsburgh. Um, and for the reason of Pittsburgh, because one thing about Pittsburgh's ownership, they know the kind of coach they want. They went from Noel to Cowers to Tomlin. So they know what fits their culture.
Mm-hmm.
They can bring that type of coach in because they're very diligent when it comes to that process. They're not just going to just bring anybody in because their coaches last a long time. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing about Pittsburgh is that they're not kicking you out the door and they'll allow you to bring your system, establish your system, and as long as you get win, you have no problem. Once again, quarterback is a question mark. You got a running back or Warren. You still got DK Metcalf, so you got pieces. You got Watt. So you got things to work around. I don't know what they're gonna do with Ramsey's contract and them pieces like there that got because they could dump him. He's on the
Mm-hmm.
decline. totally on the decline, been on the decline. So it, it's some stuff they wanted to do in order to be able to get to a level where it's Pittsburgh level football. Um, but being that Tomlin didn't go out like Coward did, because Coward, Tomlin stepped in some big shoes because Coward he didn't go out bad. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So being that they've been on a decline, you get a fresh start. So that's a good thing. You can build your own legacy, your own image, and do it your way without the pressure of coming behind a great coach. Not saying Tomlin wasn't a great coach. I think he was a very good coach. But like you mentioned, he had what 9 years of losing or nine
Not
seasons
9 years of not winning a
of
playoff
the
game.
playoff game, right? So that's been the standard for the last 9 years. So now you get a fresh do over, do your own thing, and you got the owners backing. That's all you ask for when you come in, is to be able to do your own thing without having the pressure of getting canned.
That's a
Like
lot of pressure, though, man. You know,
it is.
those
You talking
they've
about
only
cost?
had three head coaches in the
Yes,
history of the organization, and they all won Super Bowls.
they did. Yeah,
All three. Noel won four, Cowher won one, went to two, and Tomlin won one, went to two.
yeah, you're right. It's a standard there.
There is a standard there.
There. And I believe once again that the owner's going to bring in the type of coaches that's not going to shy away from that standard, from that culture, from the expectations. That's going to be an interview process when that goes down.
Hmm.
Gil. You sit there,
Hmm.
you know what kind of candidates you're looking for when you're sitting down with them.
100%. All right. My number eight, oh boy. My number eight is the Las Vegas Raiders. I could have easily put them number nine, but I talked about the team that I would not want to coach. At least the Raiders with Las Vegas, that area can sell itself. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to believe in Tom Brady as ownership, I think he's got a lot more say in the company than the majority owner, Davis. So give me the Raiders at number eight. Again, they need a quarterback. And I think I know who they're going to get.
I do too, and I'm in total agreement with you with this one because Vegas sells itself. You got Genty, you got Bowers, and like you said, I believe we know who the number one quarterback is going to be and where he's going. You know, and I think that game against Oregon showed us who they might go with. And I don't know if we still agree that Moore should come out. I still think he should come out even though he had a terrible game, but he was down a lot of pieces, man. A lot of pieces. He was. It wasn't, he didn't have his full roster. So I can't judge a man off of that game because he was limited. And he went up against a ferocious team that's just showing you that
They overwhelmed him.
yeah, they
He got
did.
he got
Opening snap.
overwhelmed.
From the opening snap.
That is not how you want to leave your legacy at that
No,
school.
no. And that's why I don't think he's gonna come out because you don't want your last game, even though me and you both agree
Hmm.
that he will have a higher position this year, possibly than next year.
Hmm.
We don't know. He could outshine, do his thing next year, lead Oregon to a national championship, and be the
He
number
could.
one pick. We all believe it'll be Arch that's going
He
to be.
could, but man, it's going to be hard to surpass Arch.
It's going to be very
But
hard.
it's possible. I think if he comes out now with the coming off of that
Yes.
game and he would be going no higher than the Jets,
Yeah,
I think I would go back to school. That's not what
yeah,
I said last week, but I think I would.
I
I
would
think I
too.
would. I'll be king of the campus for another year.
Sorry about that, brother.
I'll get myself more pro ready, and I have a chance, although it's a tough one. I got a chance to come out as the number one quarterback,
Yes, sir. But
and
unfortunately, it might be
at
going
the
to
very least, I wouldn't be going to the Jets.
who knows? The Jets might finish with the worst record next year. What you talking about, Gil? They might finish with the worst record next year, man. What you talking about? He
It's
still might have
true.
the Jets.
It is true. They are the Jets.
They're the Jets. If you believe
It
Aaron Glenn, if you believe Aaron and Eric Glenn, man, you're crazy. If
No,
you
I
believe
don't.
Aaron Glenn is the way,
I don't.
I don't know what you saw this year, but he showed me enough to know he ain't ready. He ain't ready.
If the Jets were smart, but they're not,
They're
they would
not.
have moved on from Aaron Glenn, and the Jets would have been one of the higher openings because they got the number one pick and they got the 16th pick. And next year, they got 3 first-round picks. 3 because
3.
of the Cowboys.
Yep. So, yeah, but you said it best. They don't. It's the Jets, man. It's the Jets. They haven't been nothing since Hollywood Joe. Broadway Joe, I'm sorry.
Broadway Joe.
Broadway Joe. Yeah.
So are they your number 8?
Who? Arizona?
No, the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, we agreement. Raiders.
Raiders. All right, we agree a lot.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, brother.
It is what it is.
It's what
And
it is.
then the
It's
last
the
job,
least.
the last job is the Arizona Cardinals. Again, no quarterback,
No culture.
no real tradition. I mean, I wasn't around to see, Dan Dierdorf, playing when they were good. I wasn't around when the Cardinals were in Chicago. Okay. I wasn't around back then. But as a team that represents Arizona, it might be a pretty nice place to live, but there ain't nothing real appealing, and it's too damn hot.
You right about that.
No quarterback. Nah, bro. That
No,
is to me my least favorite job.
I'm not fighting.
And they got to move on from Murray. That's going to be a headache too. That's
Yes,
going
it
to be a
is.
headache too. They're going to be selling him 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah,
They're
because it's
not going to get a good return because they're going to be desperate to move him.
not. Yeah, that's not the position I would want. No, I'm good. I'm good. Of all them others, yeah, that's the least. The least. That's the position that somebody gonna settle for. They're gonna settle for a coach in that position because ain't no way that John Harbaugh is going to pick Arizona as his destination of choice. There's no way. If he does, I don't know what he on, or maybe he just don't want the focus. I don't know.
Nah. Harbaugh is going to get a good job.
For sure, for
I think
sure.
I think he's going to get the Giants.
Dealing with it, New York, I think he might go down Miami.
I think he thinks, I don't know how true it is. I think he thinks he can handle New York because he was a special teams and assistant coach in Philadelphia. I think he's going to think, well, I could handle Philly, but that's not an open job. I think
Mhm.
I can handle New York. Plus, he'll think to himself, the Jets are bad. So all the blame, if we're not good, won't come to the Giants. It'll be split because they'll be criticizing the Jets. So, and again, they got a quarterback.
They do.
They got a quarterback. They got a couple pretty good running backs. They got a good wide receiver, and they're picking high in the draft this year, which is something the Ravens have not done probably his whole tenure that he was in Baltimore.
Well, they
Those
was winning.
those 18 years.
They were winning.
Yeah,
They were
they were
winning.
winning.
Even Lamar went 32? Yeah, he was the last pick in the first
He went,
round.
yeah, they traded
Yup,
from the second round to get
to
into
come
the
up and get him.
end of the first round to get
Yep,
him. That's
yep.
right. That's right. You're right. So, all right.
Okay.
So outside of the top 3, which we had in a different order, we pretty much agree on all 9.
It's not
Great.
rocket scientist, man. It's not rocket scientist, man. It's
Yeah.
it's come on, Gil. It's not rocket scientist, man. We're not gonna sit here shoot the crap to the audience is watching us. If
Hmm.
y'all have any disagreement, just let us know in the comments.
Let
If you
us know.
believe that all them the above positions, and there'll probably be some arguing about the Pittsburgh. It'll probably be Pittsburgh. It'll be,
Okay.
but we stated our position. Why we saying that at this moment, Pittsburgh is not the job that I'm going to want at this moment. Minus tradition, all that stuff is just